So,
Dream big, but take small steps.
yes, dream big, but say take small steps. That is the definition of realistic. Very good. That was thanks for reading it. What does that mean? So you should dream big, but you should take small steps to go to your dream. What does that mean? Who can tell me? What does that mean? You should dream big. You should have very big dreams. For example, if you love basketball, you should dream that one day you will be in the NBA. But first, you have to take small steps to go there. What does that mean? Who can tell me? What does that mean? You have to take small steps to go. Mhm. Yeah, you have to what?
Acting acting slow and carefully to achieve these goals.
Yes, good. So taking short steps, don't become crazy. If you want to go to the NBA, you should try short steps. Okay, in the first week you should focus on one thing. You should focus on one thing. And in the second week, you should focus on another thing. And the third week, you focus on another thing. So be realistic. Now, the second thing is actionable. A stands for actionable. Who can tell me the definition, the definition for this term, actionable?
Don't have vague behavior.
Good. Don't have vague behavior and goals. So vague, what's the meaning of vague? It's not vague, it's vague. The meaning of vague is the opposite of concrete. So when you have like no plan, when you have no organization, when you have no real like actual plan, that is vague. So don't have vague behavior goals. Don't think that somehow by magic, everything will happen. You must have some kind of plan which you can follow. You must be able to follow this plan. So when you want to go somewhere, you have to have a plan which you can follow, not like a crazy plan, not a crazy plan. Now that is actionable. What about P? P is for persistent. P is for persistent. Now, what does that mean? Who can tell me? Who can tell me the definition of persistent? Persistent.
Make goals every week.
Yeah, make goals every week. What does that mean? So persistent, the meaning of persistence is to keep trying, to never stop, to never give up, but to keep trying and to keep trying and to keep trying until
when you help to poor people or
yeah, when you have to when you yourself must keep trying and keep trying and keep trying until you succeed at something. So if you, for example, if you want to go to the NBA, you should keep trying, even if you fail, and maybe you will fail many times, but you should keep trying. So this is the plan. This is what the experts were saying. They follow this RAP system, this RAP system. R means realistic, have realistic goals. A means actionable. Don't have like crazy plans, have clear plans which you can follow. And P means persistent. Don't give up. So if you fail when you follow your plan, don't stop. Again, continue, and again, try again. This is one way to achieve success. Success in your life by keep on trying to follow your goal. And like it says in the top, fake it till you make it. You should, if you have this ambition to be someone great, you should think of yourself as great already, and then eventually you will be great. Now I'm going to go to the next slide. So the next slide is this one. It's like losing weight. You know, if you want to go on a diet, if you want to lose weight, like if you are too big and if you want to lose weight, how do you do it? You have to follow a plan, and every week you have to keep doing the same thing, and eventually, in the end, you will get your goal. So this is like one example of this kind of situation where if you keep trying and if you keep improving yourself, you will succeed. So it's easy that way. I want to ask you to speak a little bit now. So what ambitions or what dreams do you have? Everyone who's here should answer. Everyone. Who would like to start first? Like, what is an ambition or a dream that you have? Who would like to start first?
I want to be a doctor.
Excellent. That is a great plan. So you want to be a doctor. That is a great plan. And of course, if you want to be a doctor, you have to take small steps now, concrete steps, realistic steps now. That means maybe focus on science subjects or biology subjects. And then actionable steps. You should have a plan which you can follow, not like a crazy plan, but like a clever plan. And persistent. You have to keep trying. Even if you fail tests or something, you have to keep trying. So that's good. So that's your goal, your dream. Who else?
I want to be a businessman.
Very good. So you have certain things to do. You must maybe focus on mathematics or different subjects from a doctor, but it's possible for you. And maybe you should read lots of books about business or watch lots of videos about businessmen. So that's very good. Anyone else? Who else? Who else has a dream?
I want to be an actor.
Actor? Oh, that's a very good, very exciting. That's a very exciting plan. So maybe you should take drama class or acting classes. You should watch lots of movies and study the way they act. You should observe everyone, and you should learn many skills. Who else? Ika, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, what is your goal or dream?
Well, every time I think of something different, like sometimes I want to be a basketball player, like in the NBA. Sometimes I want something different.
Yeah, so it is difficult to choose sometimes. But what are
Yes.
you doing? What are you doing to go closer to this dream? Are you doing anything or just dreaming?
You could say I'm just dreaming.
Yeah, but like for example, when you were talking about the basketball, did you join like a basketball club? Did you practice every day? Did you do those kinds of things?
Well, I practice basketball sometimes.
Okay, so you're doing something. You're doing a little something to help. Okay, good enough. I'm going to move to the next. I'm going to move to the next slide. This one is become aware of personality traits. Okay, here's the question for this slide. All of you, I'm going to ask you, what do you think is your own personality? If you describe yourself, if you describe yourself, what can you say about your personality? Are you calm? Are you, hardworking? Are you maybe aggressive? Maybe are you there's many things you can say. So who is going to start first to talk about yourself? Sergey?
Sometimes I am hardworking, but not always. I think I am kind, and I am ambitious, and I want to do everything, all of what I want.
Oh, excellent. That's a very good answer. That's a great answer. Okay, good. That's what
I
that's what
make
I.
many goals,
Mhm.
and I'm at home because it's isolation.
Oh yeah, self isolation. Yeah, it's a bad time now, but hopefully in the future, everything will become normal again. Good. Now, who else? Anyone else? Who who else? Ika, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. How
Well,
can
I
you?
am.
Mhm.
Well, I am. Uh, I am shy and I am a bit lazy. So.
Yeah. So then
Yes.
it becomes a bit difficult, but
Yes.
it's always possible to improve. It's always impossible. It's always possible to improve. So you should remember that. Uh, good. Now I'm going to switch to the next one. Here is connected. It's connected to Ika's answer. So Ika thinks he's shy and lazy. But if you don't improve yourself, then how can anyone else make you improve? So you have to improve yourself. And this slide, uses the dogs just as a kind of like just as a joke. But you know, you have to take care of yourself. So you have to uh, see what's wrong in you, and you have to take the steps to go ahead. So take care of yourself. The quotation on the left is take care of yourself like you would take care of someone that you care about. So people maybe forget that sometimes. They forget about themselves. Maybe they will be very caring or kind to other people, but they forget to do the same for themselves, and then they don't improve. Everyone can always improve. Everyone can always improve, but maybe you forget sometimes that you should also improve yourself and not just other people. Um, it's easy enough to criticize other people, but it's very difficult to criticize yourself sometimes. That is the idea of this slide. Okay, well, let's see. I will go to the last slide and then we'll finish. So in the last slide, we have this situation. It can be difficult. It's not easy, of course, and there will always be many difficulties that you cannot plan for or that you cannot solve. But you should be realistic and say, okay, if I really cannot join the NBA, for example, if you wanted to join the NBA, you should be realistic. If you really cannot, and if you know that you cannot, then you shouldn't go for such a dream which you know that can never happen. You should have a realistic dream, and that will make it more successful when you reach there. So don't try to have dreams which are too crazy. You should try to have realistic dreams, or else you only hurt yourself. So I think that is it for now. Yeah, so I hope you learned something. Anyone here who can summarize what today's presentation was about? Anyone?
About personality.
About personality, but also about self-improvement. So you are a certain way at the beginning, but there are many different ways to improve yourself, and you should be realistic about yourself, and it will be easier to achieve success. I think those are some of the things I wanted to say. So I hope it was useful for you, and I hope there's certain things to think about, and maybe the next time that we meet, in the very beginning, I will ask you about this presentation. Maybe I'll ask you some questions about what we spoke about and what it was about before we continue with the next discussion. Okay, so that will be it. Thank you, and hopefully next time, by the way, you can participate a little bit more. I think many of you were a bit shy or maybe a bit hesitant to speak, but you shouldn't. I prefer if you have more things to say. Okay?
Yes, I also hope that they will be more open for the next time. I think
Yeah.
they are a little bit shy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, and see you next time. See you next week.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
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 This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, that was weird. Yeah, realistic means that you take realistic steps. You don't have like crazy dreams. Maybe, you know, if you're not very sporty, don't have the dream of like being an NBA superstar or something, because it probably won't happen. You should have realistic dreams, and then take steps to go there.
Some people think that realistic people are pessimistic people.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true, but no, realism doesn't necessarily mean pessimistic. It just means that you don't have like crazy ideas that you know you can never have, that you know you can never do. That was the first step of this methodology, being realistic about your dreams and then taking small steps to get there. The second one, the A, stands for actionable. What you guess is the definition of actionable? And you can read the short sentence that's next to it if you want.
Actionable person is person who knows that only words are not enough to reach something.
Good, that's very good. An actionable person, a person who takes correct actions. They have a clear plan. They make a clear plan for themselves. So they don't, they don't wake up in the morning and say, okay, at the end of today, I have a presentation to make. I'm just gonna hope it happens somehow. So somehow it will happen. I don't have to take a plan. I don't have to make a plan. It will just happen. That is an unrealistic person. Actionable means that you have a strict plan that you follow to get to your goal. So don't have vague, what I wrote there was, don't have vague behavior goals. Vague means like non-concrete, not concrete, like just like having no plans, just going by emotions or going by feelings and having no plan whatsoever, no organization. That's maybe better. Having no organized plan to go from where you are to where you want to be. That is what vague means. Having no like clear plan. Okay, so that's actionable. Now the third part, the P, it stands for persistent. Now what is the definition of persistent? Anyone?
Constant.
Constant, yeah, exactly. To keep trying, to keep going on. You have to be constant. You can't have great enthusiasm and energy at the beginning, then lose all of your enthusiasm and energy in the middle, and then have nothing left at the end.
I think
you'll
that
have-
a
Yeah.
persistent person is the person who wants to change at most.
Very good. A persistent person is someone who will keep trying and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. Even if they fail one time or 2 times or 3 times, they'll try again. They won't stop. This is a persistent person, a consistent person. So that is the difference. Now that's the methodology, the RAP methodology, to be realistic, to be actionable, and to be persistent. And then perhaps you'll have a chance to achieve the necessary change to be successful or to achieve your dreams or whatever it is you want. I wrote an example on the left side. Now look at the left side of the screen. An example, let's see, look in the middle line, the middle of the 3 lines. An example, an introvert invites friends over for a lunch. So let's see, if a person is shy or extremely shy, if he is introverted, maybe one way that he can change himself to become more extroverted is to invite schoolmates or classmates to his house, or maybe on Saturday or Sunday, to have lunch, so that he learns to be more social and he learns how to be more outgoing. So that would be a realistic plan. It's realistic to do that. It would be actionable. He could easily ask his classmates to come over for lunch, like on a Saturday or Sunday when they don't have school. And it's persistent. If he keeps doing that every week, he'll learn something. He'll definitely learn some skill of how to be more outgoing or to be more, to have more contact with people. Now, do you think that that's a good idea or not?
I think that it's a good idea. When he or she reaches his or her goal, after that, she or he can decide by himself or herself which is better for him or her, to be introvert or to be extrovert.
Exactly. He can choose afterwards whether he wants to continue that way or if he has even learned anything new. Now, that was my example. I want another example from you, anyone who can think of an example. What if a person wants to, they want to go to the best university in England when they grow up, like when you finish school. You want to go to the best university in England. What kind of plan can you do following this RAP methodology?
First of all, you have to work very hard.
Yeah.
So persistent, I think, is.
Every week you have to be consistent and work very hard. Very good. Then
you should be actionable and you should practice your English.
Yes, you have to be.
Also, motivation is very important.
Very good. Motivation is very important. You should. Let's see.
And
what about?
Also, you should be realistic. You should know that there are a lot of people who want to study in these universities.
Excellent.
Are motivated, you can do everything.
Yes, if you're motivated, you can do anything. You have to be realistic because maybe, let's say, if you want to go to Oxford University or Cambridge University, you know, it's quite difficult. It's extremely difficult. It's very difficult to go to Oxford or Cambridge. So if you really
also friends and family are very important.
Yeah, family is also very important in order to get where you want to be. There are certain things that maybe it's possible for you to achieve, but maybe there are certain things you can't achieve. Like, for example, if you love basketball and you think one day you want to play in an NBA All-Star game, maybe it's possible, but maybe it might not be possible. There's many things you have to think about. You should try to be realistic. You should try to do it actionably, and you should try to be persistent.
And you should be not scared of your opponents.
Yeah, and yeah, that's also very good. You shouldn't be afraid. You should have bravery. You should be brave enough to go for what you want.
You should be concentrated.
You should concentrate. You should concentrate on your goal. You should be focused. And you should concentrate on your goal, and you should achieve what you want to do. In this slide, which kind of maybe will be like a finishing slide for us, it's like losing weight. If you want to lose weight, you know what the dietitians and experts say. You have to have a plan. You have to stick to it every week, and eventually, even though it seems quite difficult for many people, eventually you succeed. You get to the point where you get to the level that you want to be. It's almost like a science, because it can be worked out, and you can make a plan of it. You can write things down. You can say, this is exactly what I have to do in the first week. This is exactly what I have to do in the second week. This is exactly what I have to do in the third week. And then in that way, you can go step by step forward, and then eventually you reach your goal. And the other important thing is always to start today, right away, because many people say, oh, well, I would like to get there to that dream or whatever, but I'll start sometime in the future. Maybe in the summer.
Tomorrow, Monday.
Tomorrow never comes. That's the joke. People say, oh, I'll start tomorrow, but of course tomorrow never comes, because when it's tomorrow, it's today. So you're always like, it's always in the future.
You have to do whatever you want to do today. You can never make it. No, you never know.
Yes, it's difficult to start, because think about how many times you said, okay, I'm going to start this thing today. Yeah, there's something you want to start, but you say, I'll start tomorrow, and then in the end,
that means that you are giving up right here, and
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that is
exactly. Like,
Giving up.
all of you, like, if you wanted to study, I don't know, if you wanted to study German or Italian or something, why not start today? You're all in quarantine. You're all in isolation in your houses. You could start learning something new, and you could finish it before the summer comes. Okay, I think we've finished the times. I'm gonna wait. Yeah. So yeah, it was a very good conversation. I enjoyed it very much, and that was great. So a lot of you came today, unlike last week. This is great. So next week when we meet again, I hope all of you will come again, and you will participate in the same way. Try to remember all of these terms that came from today, because next time when we meet, again, the first 5 minutes, I'll ask you to summarize what we spoke about last week. And so if you can remember some of these terms, it would help. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, have a good rest of the week, and try to stay safe, and try to learn something new as well, or start something today. Okay, good. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.